Welcome back to the StarLadder I-League Star Series Finals. It was a bit of a wait, but thank you for your patience as we are back with Virtus.Pro versus Team Secret, so it will definitely be worth your waiting because this match should be hype.
Yes, should be very
And
exciting.
who better to share it with than K-Pop my StarLadder buddy.
Yeah, we're veterans. We've been working on StarLadders together since we were both
Newbies.
newbies working our way in, trying to show our merit. So old school.
I think our highlight was what we mentioned just now, Season 8 of StarLadder with the amazing theme video with Imagine Dragons with Demons. I mean, it always stuck with me, so definitely nice to have us back. And also, Virtus.Pro and Poppy plus Co. I mean, was Navi then. We're also playing then, so we were actually... It's the same sort of teams, sort of. I don't know if we can compare that at all. But
Navi won, like, what was it, the first 4 or 5 StarLadders in a row?
Apart from Zero, yes.
Yeah, Zero was weird. The retry won StarLadder
Moscow
0.
5 they were called then, I think.
Were they?
Not?
I know it was PGG's team.
Moscow 5 was PCG's team.
Okay. I guess
Because
so.
he went
I
with
guess
Moscow
so.
5 to TI.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about who our Dota team spirit animals were a couple of days ago, and I said the retry. It's not actually accurate. I just like being able to talk about the retry.
I don't have a Dota team.
I think that team has had 26 or 7 different players on the roster at some
PGG
point.
has always been on it.
That's why it's called the retry.
Yes.
Because you keep trying
He
and
keeps
trying
trying.
and trying and trying.
Yes, still in there. But yeah, Virtus.Pro, Team Secret. We like I said, there was a bit of an issue, but the issue is fixed.
Yes.
And I believe we are actually in the draft.
Maybe.
Maybe? No? Yes? No.
Not quite yet. We tried to wish it into existence.
Yes, we did.
A wild Lumi appears.
Wild Louis appears. So first, we talked a little bit about it before the match started. By the way, I got corrected on Twitter. We talked about complexity, right?
Yes.
Now, I didn't watch Han, but people that did watch Han corrected me and said that in Han, Swindles and Z-Freak and Limp and Chessie, the 4 brothers, as in 2 brother pairs, were on a Han team together.
Well, we said it hadn't happened in Dota.
It's true, but still, I mean, I didn't know that. And it actually is really nice to see them then getting back together and actually doing well, because it's nice.
A lot of the old Han squads have kind of like reformed around each other with a lot of good teams. Like a lot of the OG players are like old Han players together.
Yeah.
And so it's good because Moon Meander jumped back with the the old Fnatic squad that used to be a big Han juggernaut. So it's interesting to see how those guys. You play with someone for so long, you develop these bonds. You know how they play. You kind of get them. It makes sense. It makes sense.
It does indeed. But yeah, Virtus.Pro versus Team Secret. You already said you favored 1%. You favored Team Secret.
I favor Virtus.Pro just a little bit because I think Virtus.Pro is probably going to make it to the finals, and I think they'll win the group. It's hard for me to get a read on Team Secret. They've had a interesting run as of late. I mean, they obviously did really well for the vast majority of last year, but they had a decent, a subpar for them, I think, showing at the Frankfurt Major because they expect to win.
Everybody expects to win.
Exactly. And then at WCA, which is, it's a rough tournament, to get a whole lot of bearing off of. But they didn't play terribly well there. Previous tournaments going after that, they didn't even attend the summit because they were attending WCA. So they've had some issues. So I don't really know if it's partly due to them just, kind of giving up on the patch and being done with it and not really having that much passion for it and just ready for a new patch to come along, or if they're really having some internal issues that they haven't really solved yet. And we'll see.
Yeah, I kind of feel like for Team Secret, if you compare the two, one came off a high, one came off a low coming into this patch, or even at the start of the patch with WCA still being on this current patch. But wouldn't that make Secret more hungry for their improvement compared to Virtus.Pro?
I think so. I think Secret has kind of not completely lived up to their expectations. I think they expected to win TI. I think they expected to win the Frankfurt Major, and they did neither. So I think that they are still very hungry. They're a team that thinks they deserve to be the best team in the world, and that they're really hungry to show it. And I think they can be. I think they have the talent there.
They showed it at the Frankfurt Major too.
Yeah, and this is a good meta for them, I think. We talked about how Chen is a very strong pick right now. Puppy's arguably the best Chen player in the world.
Split odds with Aki there, I would say.
I want to see the Eternal Envy Terrorblade. I think there's a lot of exciting picks that can
Would you rate Eternal Envy's Terrorblade higher than LGD's Terrorblade?
Well, it's a different Terrorblade now. I think you see the kind of all-in push Terrorblade, which is what you kind of saw that last time too. I don't know. They play a different type of Terrorblade. It's hard to compare the two. I've seen a lot more Sylar Terrorblade as of late than Eternal Envy Terrorblade. So I had to give the slight edge to Sylar right now, just because he's actually been playing it.
I'll allow that because you don't have any sample size for Eternal Envy.
Not quite yet.
Hopefully, though, after the next match, we'll actually see a Terrorblade and hopefully also a Chen. Do you feel like they actually fit together?
I think they can. The thing about Terrorblade is that he kind of wants to do his own thing in lane and be able to push towers early, and Chen can do that. Chen can give him the space in lane to get good farm and experience while he's off in the jungle, and then when it gets time to, group together at 8 minutes into the game and destroy a tower really fast, he can do that. So I think they can work together. If they get both Chen and Terrorblade, I think that's going to be a very scary draft for Secret.
I feel like it's going to be a fast game.
It depends. It depends on what picks they get. I mean, Secret isn't afraid to go very late with games, so it's fine. I think Virtus.Pro is probably the team that's more going to try to push it to be a little bit earlier. They're a team that's not really known for their exceptional late game execution. They're more good at really skirmishing exceptionally well and finishing games when they need to get them finished.
Yeah, by the way, guys, in case you're wondering why there's only 2 of us at this desk right now, it is because on the other stream, it is EG versus LGD. I repeat, EG versus LGD. This should be a really great match. And it will be casted by LD and Scant. So Scant basically left us. But I don't blame him because it's going to be a good match that he's going to cast. So
I'm jealous. I really wanted to see. I wanted to see some LGD on the main stream.
You're LGD fanboy. Are we not going to see? We're going to see LGD tomorrow on the main stream.
Oh, I'm not sure actually. I'm not sure.
I think we will see. I think I checked that. Well, with the previous schedule.
I mean, they're going to make the at this rate. They're really going to. They're almost certainly going to make the playoffs. They're already 2-0.
This is actually true. It's very
almost certainly, but it's going to be very hard because they're then going to have to lose 3 more games. So
but it's
even 2 and 3 might be a tie to get into the top 3.
Yeah. I guess you're right. I think they are in the group that is maybe where they have a more difficult chance to get into the top 3.
I might have overvalued though how good their win over Spirit was, because Spirit just got ran over by EG in the other game. It was like 30-10, I think, something like that. EG picked a lone druid pick that just kind of did a lot of work. I think lone druid's very strong.
We saw in the first game of the day, it was banned out instantly against EG actually as well. So maybe they should have done that, as we are actually in the draft. And hey, speak of the devil, lone druid and also Chan removed.
That's smart. It's a situation that we were talking about. You don't really know what Secret plan on playing this patch. They haven't gotten to play a whole lot. When they played at WCA, they didn't really show a lot about what they thought. And so I think the Chen is just a very smart ban out.
10 seconds.
Yeah, it all remains to be seen if we see the Terrorblade. I guess that I kind of feel like that's going to be a pocket pick.
5 seconds
Oh yeah, I think
rather
so.
than
I don't think Virtus.Pro ban it. I don't think they ban the Terrorblade unless they're getting to like the last picks and it kind of looks like they're telegraphing.
Death Prophet.
Turn to pick.
Yes.
Oh my God, I am the drafting god. Did you see the start of the game, by the way? Because obviously Winter is kind of known as like the drafting god, and as Skent said before we actually started anything, like I want to contest you on that. And then his first prediction was like Darkseer, last pick for Navi, I think.
Yeah.
And he said Darkseer, and then Winter said Rubik. And then he kind of started to go towards what Winter said, but it was actually Darkseer, so he was also right. So we're on the right track here to try and
Winter's reign has
beat
ended.
Winter. Although I mean the Death Prophet, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of skill involved in that prediction.
Yeah, I think she's one of the new obvious top tier heroes. She's just very strong in lane with the Spirit Siphon. I watched the matchup against Windranger, and I thought Windranger would do fine in the matchup, and she did do okay. But every time she Spirit Siphoned, the Windranger had to win run. It's very tough at that matchup, especially if you have any other help from supports rotating around. It could be very tough. And in the past, where after you got Yules, there wasn't really a super efficient item to choose for Death Prophet, because you could go Bloodstone, but Death Prophet really doesn't need that much mana regen, because the only thing she's really spamming is Crypt Swarm. It's not that expensive considering her mana pool being quite large, and you already have a Yules. So the Bloodstone was really just for the cooldown on dying and the tankiness, but it's not that tanky. So some people would go Shivas instead, and that wasn't great. Some people were even picking like Scotty and other items later, and it just wasn't great for her. But now with Octarine core in place, it just makes her such a great hero because the biggest drawbacks about Death Prophet in the past was when Exorcism is down, you just fight her.
You're done.
You're done. You just go fight. And with the increased duration of Exorcism, up to 5 more seconds during this patch, and Octarine core reducing the cooldown of it significantly, and with her being able to lifesteal off the damage the spirits deal, she just is a much better hero in a lot of ways. That item just does a lot for her. It tanks her up, it gives her mana sustainability, it gives her health sustainability, it reduces all of her cooldowns, it just fixes so many of her problems that it really makes sense that she's a top 2 hero now.
I tried to pick PPD's brain about what you do against the Death Prophet, and he didn't want to give away too much. Surprise. One thing he did give away, though, was Lich. Now, obviously, Lich is for the extra armor that it offers, but you can also think of that you also have the Sven. We saw actually Na'Vi been out to Sven when they picked up the Darkseer, or when they picked up the Death Prophet themselves. So the extra armor that any hero can provide is going to be something that's good against a Death Prophet. But not only that, also heroes that by default have high armor, which means you kind of, for example, don't want to pick a Doom against a Death Prophet. 2 reasons, obviously. If you Doom her like a slight second too late, you're gonna be very sad because the Doom doesn't actually do that much.
She's a pretty bad Doom target.
Yes, unless you get the jump on her, which is tricky, and also because you die really fast if she does ever ultimate out. So I'm curious to seeing maybe some extra high armor picks, or perhaps something that can give Team Secret armor. They pick up the Venge though, and we talked about this. Venge high profile pick. Are you expecting to see this Venge as a support or as a core?
I definitely think it's... Team Secret is probably the team that I would last expect to see run it as a core. That doesn't mean they won't, because I didn't expect to ever see Arteezy Vengeful Spirit, and we saw that today.
Yes.
But Pylite Eye plays an exceptional Vengeful Spirit. It fits right into his playstyle of saving his cores, being very defensive, roaming early. It just fits a lot of the things he likes to do with the support, so I'd be surprised if it's not a Pylite Eye Venge, but that doesn't mean that it can't be, because we've already seen a lot of teams experiment a lot with what roles their cores play this patch. Virtus.Pro picking up another hero that's really good against the Death Prophet Dazzle by being able to give your entire team armor. It works good against Exorcism. One of the old school counters to Death Prophet is Sven, and I don't know if I think Puppy is one of the players that kind of likes Sven. I just don't know if we'll see an Eternal Envy Sven here. We've seen Sven supports to try to deal with the Death Prophet, actually. When we saw it in the Chinese region where people really love Death Prophet.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's very hit or miss. If your Sven support doesn't get successful roams early, it just does not work at all. Way too greedy of a pick otherwise. So I think it's a very high-risk pick, but it doesn't mean it won't happen. Team Secret loves their hard-to-execute support duos.
Yeah, Virtus.Pro actually are kind of maybe worried about the global strat, because he had the Asian Apparition and Nature's Prophet removed, as already Secret has the Zeus. Talking about global, a hero that I've been missing slightly. I feel like it could be good, but I want to hear your opinion about Spectre.
I think Spectre's very good. I think she had a lot of items buffed that benefit her. If I actually need to go down the list of, it seemed like all of the item buffs that so many things about her got better, but I think it's more of the play style of this patch doesn't really suit her as well is the problem. She can really get shut down in lane by a lot of heavy pressure, and there's a lot of good heavy pressure supports right now, and I think she just kind of struggles there. But if you can secure her lanes with really good defensive supports, I think a Spectre pick can definitely still work. Eternal Envy, one of the better Spectre players in the world. He loves being able to buy back Haunt. Any hero that does well out of buyback is something that Eternal Envy enjoys to play. So,
they pick up the Earth Spirit though. Who's the Earth Spirit player? Who is the dirty one?
That is, I'm not. I doubt it's Pylite Eye. It's probably Puppy. I would say Puppy's probably the Earth Spirit player for that team.
I would actually have guessed Pylite Eye.
I'm not sure. Puppy usually plays the more.
He plays the more four.
Yes.
Pylite Eye is more like the sacrificial lamb.
Exactly. Just because of if Venge ends up being the core, maybe. But we'll see. For Virtus.Pro, though, I'm going to be. I still think you have to worry about the Visage from them. Visage getting a small buff to Stone. I think it was the AoE of the Remnant stun. It's very small buff, but it was a buff.
And Lil's already a beast even who wasn't buffed.
Yeah, Lil is a god at that hero anyway, so I think you always have to be scared of it. I think he works definitely relatively well in this meta as well. He can split push and farm pretty well. So he's got that additional camp to farm. on the side lane that I think works pretty well for him. Faceless Void picked up by Virtus.Pro. I think that's a very good pickup against these very low cooldown heroes like Zeus.
Yeah, and heroes that you can potentially already kill inside a Chronosphere.
Exactly.
I mean, you already have the Vengeful Spirit against it, though.
The Vengeful Spirit works as a good way to swap out of Chrono, but we've seen. I think Winter was very, very into the Faceless Void picks. We saw a lot of it in China. We would see a lot of Faceless Voids go off lane. They pick up in Iron Talon a lot of the times, and you can just always fall back to that side lane, the side camp, and just Iron Talon the big creep, and you have such good stats that you can generally. Faceless Void is insane base damage too.
Yeah.
So it's just something like a poor man shield. You can clear creeps out pretty well with Iron Talon.
The thing is, in Southeast Asia, you saw a lot of Faceless Void picked in the start of the qualifiers, but towards the end, nobody wanted it anymore because it lost so many games because you have to get that combination with the Chronosphere, whichever hero you pick with it, to get it right. Because in this patch, Faceless Void transitions more into an offlaner, as you mentioned, into more of a utility hero with this Chronosphere.
Death Prophet is also another hero that you don't really mind if you have a not perfect Chrono. If you accidentally catch your Death Prophet in the Chrono, but she already has exorcism going, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not like catching your melee core in a Chrono. So it's a better situation. It makes it easier to execute.
I really like the Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, the versus this, it's really strong.
And there is still a possibility that it could be a Faceless Void safe lane, Nyx Assassin off lane. What do you reckon?
It could be.
Because DK Phobos Nyx is
DK
nice.
Phobos is one of the players that still believes in the offlane Nyx Assassin. So
I believe in the offlane Nyx Assassin. I actually also believe in the mid Nyx Assassin. I saw that during the qualifiers, which is really fun to watch.
Yeah, I doubt they'll be putting Death Prophet like safe lane, but it's
look at that!
the last
banter lane.
That's when I thought they would ban it.
I think that's smart.
Because I don't think they've telegraphed it too hard, but I think their draft does let it happen, and Virtus.Pro has some issues with fighting at like 10 to 12 minutes, I think, before Faceless Void really has any damage to back up the Chrono.
Well,
and the Naga Siren.
If you can't have one illusion hero, you go for the other illusion hero.
Okay, well, is this how Team Secret thinks you play this patch? Is it?
Hey, it could still be a support Naga and core Venge.
It could be. Pilot Eye does play support Naga Siren. So does Puppy, actually. Puppy played a lot of support Naga Siren, I think.
They used to.
I can't remember how often or how far back that was, but I do believe it happened a fair amount.
I like that they keep it open, though. I mean, that is a strong point in a draft, I always find.
I do as well. I really like Zeus mid. I think Zeus with the Aether Lens buff or just the fact that it exists, was a very big buff to Zeus. It just, the cast range on your Chain Lightning and Bolt is so long now. Everything about the build-up benefits him. It helps his survivability with the HP regen. It gives him a bigger mana pool, which he loves. It's just a very great item on Zeus.
Last pick prediction for Virtus.Pro. Also, they keep it open, I mean, in terms of what they're going to do with their draft.
I still wouldn't be surprised to see a Visage here if it's a one Faceless Void and offlane Nyx Assassin. I think it's more likely that this is an off. Actually, I don't know if Virtus.Pro believes in the offlane Nyx. That's our offlane Faceless Void. It's been more of a Chinese thing. And it looks like it'll be a Lina. I think this is a mid Lina, support Nyx Assassin, Faceless Void, safe lane. Well, actually, it can't be a mid. It's not a mid Lina because it's a Death Prophet, of course.
And Lil picked up the Lina.
I'm being stupid. Yes, and Lil picked up the Lina, so it's a support Lina. I don't know how I feel about that support duo, though. Support Lina is something we haven't seen that often.
If you can get aggressive with her early on, and if you can get a lot of... If you can make a lot happen, I mean, it's really good. And he'll get a lot of farm. You know Lil will get farm.
It's Lil, right? Yeah. If someone is going to pick a support Lina and do well with it, and execute it well, and get the farm and kills he needs to make the hero as good as it needs to be, it's Lil.
Okay, so which draft do you favor?
I like Secrets. I really do.
What needs to happen for their lineup to actually work, you feel? Like, what do you look out for?
That's the thing I think about Secret's drafts. It doesn't require a whole lot. They just need to keep their Naga Siren alive, and they have a couple of very good heroes to do that. And as long as they can survive the early pressure from VP, I think they can be fine. Okay,
we're going to find out if they can do exactly that, because it is time for Virtus.Pro versus Secret. You waited a while for it, but here it is. Time for our next game.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are live here in Minsk. Finally, we have a Game 3. My God, that did take forever and a day, but exciting draft. They go for the Naga. I do believe
exciting draft, LD. That's the word. That's your word of choice.
The draft was exciting.
Okay.
The draft may
I
be
can
more
agree
exciting than the game, but they get the Song of the Siren here. Could be the counter to the Chronosphere
30
gods.
seconds to
They
battle.
did ban
Whoa,
Silencer.
what's going on here?
And okay, we're way underway. Let's go. VP, Radiant, Secret, Dire. First match for both teams. Already looking to rumble. They're going to get the Soul Siphon off onto Weeha, charging into him. And then laying in some nukes on the Puppy. Both teams really want this bottom rune. 5v5 off the bat. And then they're going to roll forward. Pylai dies in pretty far. Do they look to turn this? They've got a Lena stun, and they are going to catch him. He's in a compromised position right now. Auto attacks pretty good, but doesn't seem like they quite have the damage to get the kill. They also managed to grab the Weeha bounty rune. Secret are going to get the double bounty rune grab now, as we will see Eternal Envy grabbing the top, but maybe it comes at the cost of a first blood. Lena stun off the mark. Don't tell me Zeus just walks away from this. No, sorry. Misery with the body blocks. FNG, one more auto attack. He gets Mario, finishes him off. Little bugger that he is. But they got the double bounty rune, so Secret probably not too upset about that.
Yeah. Whoa, bit of a hectic start to the game. Secret really wanted the D ward, which is what got them in that bit of a odd, risky position. And I think overall for Secret, it maybe wasn't great because they actually used both Observer Wards bottom. Puppy, the second one he planted was only planted there so they could get vision for the D ward. So it wasn't really an ideal trade-off for them, and very much the lanes from a start going to be a bit of a struggle for them. We see Misery taking a lot of harass from Lil, and doesn't look like this is a lane he's going to be able to get a lot of experience from as a result.
Yeah, and good news for your Darkseer. He's already hit level 2, so have access to the Surge now. And going to retreat off to the jungle. And meanwhile, top lane, it's going to be the basically unkillable Void in the early game. Generally, this hero just does not die with a Dazzle backing him up, so now truly unkillable. But they will roll on him, putting a little bit of harass out. Silent just time walks it off and comes right back to CS.
So Silent playing that carry role in the off lane, looking to pressure the Naga in the early stages of the game, and it seems that's where some of the attention is going to be applied from VP, giving Nyx a lane where he can get some early farm and levels. Try to get Vendetta as soon as possible, then you can get moving around the map. You can really kind of not just be pressuring the Naga Siren in the lane, but also in the later stages. With just
scout out the
levels.
stacks, maybe drop some wards, just be a real pain in the rear. Silent getting aggressive at the pole camp, gets the bash on Pi. So he does opt for a point in bash. Do you reckon this is just because the Dazzle's here to help him, so he doesn't need to play as defensively in terms of the skill build?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is not your offlane Void. This is Silent that we're talking about. So he's going to go for, I think, at least 1 point in the time dilation because of how good a spell it is. But we're likely going to see
a bash max earlier on.
Yeah, probably at least 2, 3. I mean, maybe even just straight up max it out like early on, as you just said. And also the itemization is probably going to be a bit different. We're not going to see like a Vlad's Ag Scepter build. I don't imagine.
We've seen. I mean, there have been some interesting experiments in terms of the carry Void item build. I know Waga has been trying Radiance and even an early Vanguard before that. Yep. He's already completed PMS, so we're probably not going to see Vanguard.
I tried the Waga build, and I was just like, I have a Vanguard. That's great. They can't kill me, but I was also not doing a whole lot of damage.
You can't be the only damage.
No.
That's where you have a Lina, you do have a Death Prophet, so maybe a build like that's a little more viable, but, who knows? Maybe it'll be a Battle Fury Mask
out Naga the Naga when you go for the Radiance Manta build on Void.
Well, that's not a battle Void's going to win. Not unless he gets killed. So, we'll see. Should be interesting how Silent chooses to play out the hero.
So Misery now finding himself in a 1v1 with the Phobos Nyx. Both players fairly low in mana here, although Misery will have a Soul Ring in just a second to deal with the lane.
And this is also going to be an Earth Spirit kind of camping out the mid lane. Looks like he might want to try to roll on the Death Prophet if she pokes her head out too far, but in the end does trot back towards top. Pi just trying to find the openings.
And I think most interesting about this matchup is this is some of the first games on the new patch for these two teams. VP, we'll come talking about. I don't think they played a single game on the new patch. Secret played WCA, but that was like the very, very early days of 6.86. So this is really StarLadder as a whole, like a big kind of showing for these teams as far as how they're going to be playing.
Yeah, they got to put some of their strats on the table. I guess similar for EG as well, who may have caught the opposition a bit off guard with that Omni Knight grab, and we did see Navi trying to use it as well to not so great effect.
Also exciting to see Enigma back for a little bit too.
Boulder kick committed. Pylai die could be. That's just kidding. See you later.
Good roll. He rolled north. If he tried to just roll straight back to the 2-1 mid, he might have blocked.
Yeah, that's Soul Siphon. Very annoying. But the bounty rune's still going to the Dazzles. They get a stun off on Puppy. Where's the bash when you need it? Time walks forward. Really committing for this one. but not going to find it. While that was happening, it looks like there is a solo kill. DK Phobos finishing off Misery.
Dang.
Didn't even use the Spike Carapace there.
He had a Mango, I want to say, so I think that must have been like a Mango outplay where Darkseer thought he had no mana and then popped the Mango, hits a stun, gets the kill.
Very big, though. With that, you mentioned Nyx is the one that's going to move around, and I imagine we see the Void at some point just get the safe lane and get a little more secured farm. And, well, could come soon, but for now, Nyx with the level 6. Could even be looking for a follow-up kill to really break this lane
Dire's
open.
top tower.
And with
is under
Arcane Boots,
attack.
like these can go in for a Vendetta Impale. If one support rotates like a Lina, you're looking at another kill on the Darkseer, which is, it's worthwhile. I feel like you're not really at the point where DK Phobos needs to be roaming just now. He's winning his lane and happy to kind of stay bottom. So if you can bring a support down there, you could find yourselves in a really good position here for the early game for VP.
We haven't really talked too much about the overall strategic matchup between the teams, GoDz. And, you know, historically, carry Naga games, you get the Radiance, you go to the Manta, the Octarine, you spread the map. You basically never take fights unless you're really far ahead. Are you expecting that from Secret in this draft? Do you see any curveballs there? And then how do VP look to respond to it?
I think the curveball's going to be more likely thrown from VP, who can pressure towers a lot better with the Death Prophet. They've got I mean, the support in itself, Lina not greedy, but a support who can also scale well. So I think we'll see probably Lina get a decent amount of farm prioritization as this game goes on. And for Secret, taking fights is really difficult against Chronosphere, Time Dilation, Nyx Assassin. So they're going to be playing Keep Away, focusing more on Split Push, focusing
Top lane looks like they have rolled in. They're trying to make it on the Void, and he also laughs and jumps away. A bunch of bullshit escape artists in this game, I'll tell you what. My God. Nobody's dying.
Just wait till everyone's favorite ultimate comes into play. I want to hear the song of the siren.
I want to hear the tears of the VP fans.
The song of the Twitch chat. I think I know exactly what they'll be singing.
Oh my. Things really heating up here. 2-0 the score. Still haven't seen the Nyx make his first rotation, but now he's looking for it on the mid lane, trying to jump the Zeus. Under cover of Vendetta, maybe even going to scout the jungle out. Nothing scouted just yet. So does he just walk all the way top? Where's our courier? Could be a courier snipe. Let's see if the timing syncs up. He's very close.
It's coming to him soon.
Oh, hello, my precious. Easy grab for DK.
He feels himself top, but I think a courier at this stage is as important, maybe even arguably more important than the kill there.
Highlight is going to roll down to the low ground immediately. TP's out, but
tower is under attack.
so far the Earth Spirit has not felt very impactful, GoDz.
Yeah. He's been
What
caught
should
out
he
a
be doing?
few times. I don't think he's done anything too wrong. It's just when you get caught out in the positions he's been, it forces you to use these defensive rolling boulders. So you want to generally be the one on the offensive harassing, using it to try and hit the mid laner with the rolling boulder to do some Zeus damage, but not easy to just... Easier said than done.
Oh, gee, my God, the damage coming out for this Death Prophet, way too much. Pops the ultimate. Creeps aren't really there in numbers, though. And it's going to be taken down by the Riptide rotation, along with Weeha popping the ult.
He had 15 one charges and I think full or two bottle. He had full bottle charges, and he was just trying to like maximize his use of those.
Now in the bottom lane, Lil Hardy on the run. Pylai trying to get the kill, but out of spells at this point.
Radiant's
And
bottom
a little bit to
tower
the
is
north,
under
it looks like
attack.
Nyx again on the hunt. Six. Who will he find anyone, though? Lil's tried to sneak in, but in fact there's a third hero, and he gets karate chopped. Kapow! Just like that, he's down for the count. Sentry Ward also has been planted. Does DK
Radiant's
Phobos get
bottom
caught out?
tower
They give him
is
the
under
old kick,
attack.
and then they run.
Nice kill onto Lil. He's just trying to get a bit too much out of the Nyx rotation by staying around and not going back to base there, which ultimately cost him quite a lot.
So it is the Vlad's build, it looks like.
Okay.
At least for now, Silent, very stock and standard Void. This seems to be, I'd say, overall the most
Radiant's
popular
bottom
build.
tower is
I think we
under
saw
attack.
one Midas game, one Ags Rush out of China, which was the main region, really favoring the Void. But the Vlad's first was kind of the default build. What do you think? What's your favorite build?
For offlane, I think without a doubt the Vlad's Aghanim Scepter is the best. For farming Void, which is, I guess this is somewhere in between, I think Vlad's is still good. It is a decent farming item. But if you want to go like more raw DPS, you're looking other
Radiant's
directions.
bottom tower is under
Maelstrom's
attack.
possibility. the past you'd see occasional Battle Furies, which I don't think is
Probably
bad.
not Mask
Is
of
under
Madness
attack.
versus
No.
Zeus. That does not seem like the build for sure.
I think Manta's, like the Manta Diffusal's always not bad, although against these kind of heroes it's not amazing.
Maybe more versus a Dusa would be where we
Yeah.
expect to see that. But VP trying to take over the woods. They still have a Chrono. Yet to see that come into play. And Phobos
Dire's middle tower
off the
is
map,
under
which
attack.
is generally where you want your Knicks to
Radiant's
be, but
bottom tower is
the
under
trade-off
attack.
is nobody's bottom. So they're really trying to take advantage of their team fight. Pressure
Dire's
this mid
top
tower.
is under attack.
Everybody at base, Secret have decided to go on a group shopping trip right now. 4 heroes chilling in the well. Hey, do you like these shoes? They're pretty. Riha now on the run is the first man into the mid lane. Might be the first man back to the well. Tries to get the job done with the ult, and see you later. Well, the group shopping trip apparently
Dire's
not
middle
as
tower is
successful.
under
as
attack.
apparently, you need
Dire's
at least 2
structures
heroes at the
are
tower to
fortified.
defend. VP just 5-man Dota.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That was he was just kind of praying he was in fog with the TPN because there was a Void Chronosphere there as well mid lane. So
Dire's
the rest of the Secret's like,
middle tower
I'm not
has
coming in to help you. We'll just get chronoed. And a bit of a freebie going VP's way. And the tower on top of that,
Dire's middle
their
tower
lineup I
is
think
under
very much
attack.
wants to just keep on pushing, snowballing, and trying to take all these other towers by 20, 25 minutes in, if possible. For Secret, they need to hit item timings like the mech on Darkseer before they really ready to fight. Even just getting more levels on Zeus, Earth Spirit as well, who's still level 4, so no Magnetize just yet. It's a lot trickier for Secret to fight without some of these important ultimates. And you see VP just ready to go right now.
Like you said, they're constantly looking to fight, and they have yet to drop a Chrono. They're just using the Death Prophet ult. Phobos not finding Vendetta kills aside from the Courier, but threatening for them. And Secret, it seems the threat is as big an issue as the actual ganks.
He's already got Aether Lens up, so gets that extra range on the Impale. And
Puppey gets surged in, tries to make a jump here on G. Lil Hardy in position, but the stun's not going to connect. Good juke by Misery. Slave comes over the top, almost dies to the Laguna Blade. Pylite dive rolls in to little effect, and now they turn on to FNG. Zeus ult is still ready, and they're going to try to turn on him. DK Phobos into position, and he
Nice
gets
Carapace.
stunned, but the Carapace is there
Radiant's
to
middle
prevent
tower is under
Puppey
attack.
from getting out so easily. Weeha in the trees, TP out, and it's not. Oh, Weeha actually does get caught, ends up going down in the end. Looked like
long
he would make it
TP.
out of there.
Yeah, he had like a long 4-second TP. I guess it was TPing back to the tier 1 bottom or something.
I guess he must have been, because otherwise I think he
Yeah.
gets out there. And Eternal Envy, the one man not coming to the fights for Secret. He's off farming the jungle. Long way to go until that radius.
I mean, this is not exactly a
Dire's
great game for them to
structures
set
are
anything up off of the Song of the Siren 2, so you can't look at this like, okay, yeah, Naga wants to farm Radiance, but come to a fight, use the song, and then we set up a big team fight. At best, you kind of follow up with like a vacuum wall or a boulder smash. It's not like scary or guaranteed damage though, so I think the follow-up fight from the song will be won by VP, having the Dazzle to grave and heal anyone who may get focused. They've got Nyx with Carapace, they've got the Death Prophet ultimate, they've got Void Chrono, so VP with a heavy advantage in any 5v5.
Alliance is now complete, and again, Exorcism being Pop G, just constantly spamming the spell on cooldown. It seems to be working. Each ult has led to either a tower or a couple of
Dire's
kills.
top
Now
tower
Phobos
has
sweeping
been
around from the
denied.
left, but immediately scouted out and bolted. Weeha says, get the hell out of my lane, but I don't know if the Zeus is all that scary for VP, who continue to spam Shadow Waves onto the
Dire's
Death Prophet,
bottom
keep
tower
on
is
sieging.
under attack.
Pylite sitting extremely
Dire's
far back. They do have a
structures are
song
fortified.
available if they want to contest this, but Phobos
Radiant's
has
top
moseyed
tower
on towards
is
mid.
under
Does he
attack.
have the damage to get a solo kill on Puppey with Vendetta? That's going to be the question. Maybe with the Aether Lens, it's close, but they really want the +1. In position to potentially turn this. Could be the Naga, although she heads a bit to the left. And then the Chrono comes down, well placed to prevent Weeha from turning the fight. VP grab an easy pick, and they also get a tower, so objectives just piling up at this stage. Ibok, ooh, close call.
And Zeus ultied for that, so that's now on cooldown.
Yeah, Death Prophet ult also on cooldown, so probably doesn't lead to another objective, but at least
Radiant's
lets them farm
top
more
tower
freely.
is under attack.
Yeah, so for VP, they're just chugging along. This train's going to keep pushing down towers, and I don't think Secret have the answer to put the brakes on the VP
Train of
right now.
destruction.
Yeah, it's slow and steady. They're getting there for VP, and like you get Phobos up a Blink Dagger now as well. He gets that scary initiation. Maybe want to actually go back and get Arcane Boots again.
Enter bash
Possibility.
mode. Eternal Envy forced to song and TP. Good thing he did, because Nyx was coming around from the north, and that could have easily gone the other way. So Envy, that's the level 1 song. 3
Radiant's
minutes
top
where
tower
he has
is
to
under
play
attack.
extremely carefully, and let's see to what extent VP can look to punish that. They'll move the Dazzle up. Looks like they want to fully take over the woods now. Perhaps this is where Envy tries to go to the enemy woods.
It's the Misery Midas. He's
Dire's
gone for a
middle
Midas
tower
on Darks
is under
here. This
attack.
is very much a telltale sign. We are playing for the late game, the serious
They're
game.
doubling down on the greed now.
Yeah.
Radiant's a long way off. No real space for the Darkseer yet.
I think it's very much a mentality like you buy a mech now, it doesn't give you it gives you a better team fight, but your team fight's still so much inferior to VPs that it's not really justified. So you pick up the Midas, you just play. You're trying to play towards a timing where Envy's going to have Radiance and some other items, and just hoping you can stall out without a mech.
Darkseer does hit level 10, so Misery, despite the deaths, getting his experience
Radiant's
for sure
bottom
here.
tower is under attack.
And could be a big player if this goes towards the late game. They do have that aggressive ward down now, and it will be de-warded. Never actually scouted, just Secret kind of guessing that this jungle has been taken over by VP. And on the money, they'll get the de-ward. Still looking for a setup, though. Chrono Laguna's ready and silent. He's creeping in. He wants a piece of that 8k MMR. Weehawk. Oh, bolt from the low ground. Another nuke. Small time walk just to remove some of the damage. And Lil Hardy also going to get kicked and stunned. So instead, VP, they'll put the real aggression on the bottom lane. If you're going to 5-man your jungle, we're going to take your towers.
Well, with Secret already moving here, recognizing that these heroes don't quite have the numbers.
Nyx under a sentry, does get scouted out, but he still gets off the initial vendetta. He then carapaces the puppy stun. Well played by him, but suddenly surrounded and nuked down. The wall is there. Secret. Got to be careful about this void rotation, though. Death Prophet ult's ready. They see it coming. They are going to get the hell out of dodge. So they do back off successfully. Grab the Nyx kill, but it does force the Naga even to rotate. Not getting as much farming time as Envy might desire.
Still looking like at least decent time Radiance, or the Relic for now, coming out from Naga. G's.
He's not getting killed, like, even if he is rotating a bit.
Yeah.
So that definitely helps.
G's actually
middle
building,
tower
saying with
is
this
under
float,
attack.
considering getting the pipe for the team. Pipe is just so amazing against Zeus that it's one of those items that if you want to go for an all-out push and have like the mech and all that, but when there's Zeus in the field, you're thinking mech plus pipe.
Could also very easily be a casual cloak. It still feels like great value this game. If they want a pipe, though, it's probably him building it. Don't see the Dazzle getting it. Not normally a Lina item. So, should be interesting.
Yeah, really the only candidate to go have any sort of a decent timing for a pipe.
Lobos creeping around, and Secret, you can sense that the Nyx effect is not even in the kills. It's in the way they're running for their lives from a hero that isn't actually quite there. Secret's just sitting back, constantly just looking for wards, scouting uphill with the bolt, creeping and crawling. They're not in full rat mode yet, but they are slowly building towards it.
Yeah. And VP just kind of maximizing what they can get. They've got Lean in the bottom lane, Death Prophet up top, just spreading their resources, getting farm all across the board. And Aether Lens actually picked up out of the cloak. So the range...
The silence, I guess, is
like,
a bit easier to get
A bit easier, but I think a big part of this item is... I guess I'm not entirely sure the Soul Siphon. I guess the cast range on that increases, but I think also quite importantly is the attributes to the item are really strong on Death Prophet. Magic resistance, really good against the Zeus. You get the bigger mana pool, the HP regen as well when Secret's trying to spam you out. So
the damage isn't so great, though.
Yeah.
It's mostly your ult you're relying on.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I think looking just at that kind of like as a cost-effective transitional item that he can use, and considering VP wants to be able to pressure and take all these outer towers now, they've done it with the tier 1s, they're now working the tier 2s. It's not a bad item to just kind of pick up casually for G.
Who's the worst Aether Lens carrier in the game, would you say? Phantom Assassin?
I don't know, probably worse than that even. There's probably some heroes that
I guess
the item does nothing for, right?
I guess the dagger gets even more ridiculous.
I mean, Huska, is that a consideration to that?
You could dunk from farther, dude. That sounds amazing. Come on, man. This is like the half-court MJ,
Yeah.
you know, or not even, more like a Vince Howard level of dunking shenanigans.
Naga Siren in snare range. That's what you get from it. And there's definitely going to be a lot of...
That doesn't sound particularly appealing.
There's going to be some awful Aether Lens heroes out there.
I'm sure chat will let us know. Roll in on the top lane. Pilot looking to make a go on Lil Hardy, but he got off the stun before the silence came through. Kicks the boulder back the other way, and it's Pilot suddenly on the run. Do they have a stun? They got him, and the zap for good measure. G says, no, that's my kill. And Lil says, no, that's my kill, you bastard. And he will
Your
grab
Dragon
him.
Slave, my Cryptzone, who's going to be more on time? That's like a mini game in itself. Have a hero like landing from Yules and seeing who can time their nuke better to get the KS.
And while VP are busy shooting the one fish in the barrel, slowly the piranha begins devouring its prey as Envy Radiance online. He's starting to grow up a little bit now. Our little Naga.
Radiant's
getting
bottom
bigger
tower
and
is
stronger.
under attack.
Bit by bit. Do you see a clock this game?
Dire's
And if
top
so,
tower is under
what's
attack.
the rough
Radiant
time here
structures are
for
fortified.
VP?
For VP, they are at their strongest, I think, from like 20 to 30 minutes in before Naga gets items beyond the Radiance. But when they get past that, I still think they are okay. It's just like this is the point where there's the biggest
Radiant's
like
bottom tower
the
is
biggest
under
strength
attack.
gap between where the two teams are at.
Radiant's bottom
It's just
tower
going to
has
get a lot
fallen.
closer when you get to the late game. But Death Prophet, I think, scales ridiculously well to the late game. I think Nyx is going to be a good hero that can transition well also. As far as being able to scout out the Naga Siren in these split push scenarios, trying to find the real one.
Oh, they want DK Phobos. G looking to join the engagement. He will finally drop the Chrono, gets deployed though. There's the Spirit Siphon, and Puppey caught within man up going down, trying to save this one. A turn it with the mech heal isn't enough, not sufficient. Silent able to time walk forward, and it's towards Weehaw, who I think he's going to have a bolt in a second. No, out of mana for the moment. Misery tagging the Laguna, now trying to retreat out. Surge's back, Conehead can't make it home. And then Earth Spirit also duking it out with FNG in the trees. They do manage to chuck out a Magnetize. Ends up being a 2 for 2. But all the while, Jackie Mao sticking around, starting to add up the damage here. The Zeus comes through. There's the heal. Grave had it, but didn't get it off. And then a Song looking for a bit more. No, just a TP out. He's happy. He's content. He's not going to bite off more than he can chew.
And very just safe, stable play coming out from Envy. And
Big fight for Secret. Look at the net worth chart all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I mean, their supports are very poor, but the cores are pulling ahead.
And the Midas on Darkseer is starting to kick in now too, where you've got a decent amount of farm from him. He's got the mech on top of it. He's level 11, so he's going to have levels and levels as well as farm more than what he'd have if he hadn't picked up this Midas along the way. I think Secret supports as a whole not entirely that farm dependent. Earth Spirit ridiculously good with an Aghanim Scepter, but often you just see this hero running around with like Urn, Arcane Boots, and nothing else. In this case, Puppey with the Urn, and another hero who just needs levels, and then you can save the core heroes using the swap. Pretty much all Naga games, you'll see two very poor supports, or at least one incredibly poor and one like kind of under farm support.
Slightly under farm.
Yeah, you see a Naga team, you're not expecting to have the farm supports. That's more like the kind of group up, take towers as a team kind of lineup where you'll have the more even farm distribution.
And Naga's driving a Lamborghini to work, and you are just pushing a cart. But you both get there in the end if things go well. It's an Arcana rune top. Very handy for the Death Prophet. We saw the Octarine Arcana duo last game. How was that last game? I can't even remember. It was such a long break. I think it was game 2.
That was the Navi draft.
Can be a fearsome combo. Doesn't have the Octarine just yet, though. Still a great rune for the hero. And they're thinking about a Roshan, potentially. Or at least sticking their heads near the pit. Just want to make sure he's there. All right. And there we go. The ghosts come out. The battle begins. There's a Zeus ult to scout this Naga. No Psalm, though. I think it's still on cooldown for a little bit. And they're just going to march into the pit. Secret there. It doesn't look like they have too much interest in contesting. 4 heroes backing up mid. Vision, not the greatest. They've got the one ward outside the pit, but that's about it.
Yeah, the one hero who they need to contest Roshan Dax is the top lane,
So the Aegis will go the way of Virtus.Pro, and now they're moving in with the smoke. Do they want to commit into this? And about face. Let's get the hell out of here. They back off immediately. VP even want to go forward. They swap G in. Ghosts are about to return. The return is now complete, and Secret quickly realizing this is not the fight they're looking for. Puppey through the trees, just TPing out, and we'll juke them. Not so lucky, though, is Weehaw, who gets caught inside a Chronosphere. This could be big if they can finish him off. Death Prophet going to work from the south, the Void from the north, and then it's Lil Hardy securing the kill, getting vengeance for the Death Prophet to steal a step from earlier. Is there a song ready? 8 seconds to go. He's silenced anyway. He's not going to get it off. Oh, Secret hemorrhaging crucial core kills here inside their own base. There's a back wall to turn in. A roll forward from the Ember. He gets off the Magnetize on the entire enemy team. Then the Zeus ult comes through. All of a sudden, they may have salvaged the fight. G, low, can they crack that Aegis? The double Yules from both heroes. And looks like he may go down. Kick. He jukes. No, it barely grabs him. Then they lose the Aegis. Then they kill him again. They're prepping for it. They want to give this one a go. The bolt comes out. G throwing out nukes and then heading to the south. Weehaw continues to lay into him. Just retreating slowly but surely. There's even an invis rune down below. Keeps on going. This kick will miss. And G will survive. But Secret with a surprisingly strong turn there in the base.
Yeah, they made that look a bit easier than I would have expected to start defending. It is still VP who are, at least for the most part, moving forward in terms of taking objectives, taking the Aegis first and moving towards the mid-tier 2 tower, which they don't ultimately get, but killing off the Naga, as well as Zeus, and that was a buyback from Zeus, I believe.
Yeah,
yeah, buyback from Zeus, which means that was not exactly quite the hold it maybe looked like for Secret when you have to commit something as expensive as that. So for VP, you put like you put a buyback on cooldown on a hero like Zeus, and now your next Exorcism almost guaranteed to be able to take a tier 2 tower.
Good news, while that was all happening, the courier did get sniped, so a little extra gold going the way of Secret. VP moving DK Phobos up, and this is also why the supports are so poor, GoDz, is the constant need to plant sentries everywhere to deal with the Nyx infestation. It's just a defensive grid they've assembled here to try and protect the Naga as much as possible. Death Prophet, though, just going to walk in. They get a sentry down on the high ground, but the Yules is there to start things off. The double Yules coming out, all kinds of setup, and no connection. They can't find a single hero with that. FNG may even end up going down. The blink forward back is going to bring in FNG, who gets off the grave. G also able to retreat. And it looks like they will survive, at least for now, but close call.
Radiant's
Silent.
middle tower is
That's
under
the chrono.
attack.
Does he want to go? VP not content with that initiation. Looking for a better one. Creeping forward, but Envy spreading his tentacles back through the dire jungle and retreating, and with the song up, VP going to find an opening.
Yeah, that's one good way to... If Naga doesn't get caught in the chrono during a team fight, you can just kind of song to reset and negate that cooldown from that ultimate to some extent.
Oh, Silent, he's going to Iron Talon his way through the trees, gets up the chrono and it connects on two, but he gets boulder kicked right as this was happening. Then the swap out from Puppey trying to save the Zeus. Not going to happen. The boulder returns, the back wall's there, but Misery caught in the middle of 4 heroes. Bash from Silent on the first hit. Looks to go, the Magnetize still rolling into a Misery. Caught out, will end up falling. It's a two for the Naga ult is available, but the Death Prophet ult has only just begun, so that's going to be a tier 2. VP, maybe even try to put some damage on this tower, and the best news for them is Envy is back home, trapped inside his own base, stuck in the basement, and unable to slow down this push. No chrono. Ags is about to come out for Silent, has the item now. So the next time a mistake like that is made, Secret might have to deal with 2 ultimates in a fight. There's the Yules. They're looking for more. The Song is forced down. It's only to protect Pylon down, the support Earth Spirit.
The catch from VP is just too damn strong. And I think one of the really nice things about the Aether Lens on the Death Prophet has been that increased range for the Yules catch. So, because they've got such great follow-up for the Yules with the Insta-Silence from Death Prophet, they've got the Lina Light Strike Ray, the Impale from Nyx. They just keep catching and getting pick-off after pick-off, which leads into the towers. I think it's a very underrated element of push strats is having that catch as well to go with it. If you're not killing heroes, sometimes even if you've got an amazing push strat, the other team can defend.
Puppey, he's out pretty far, but VP with all the ults on cooldown. Not quite ready to go. They will isolate Phobos, but Phobos stands his ground against 5 heroes, and then he doesn't, and he dies. Now they have the eggs.
Yep. There's another tool for catching. Doesn't have a blink dagger to go with this, but I mean, time walk and just running on in maybe gonna suffice it for Silent.
Aether Lens Dazzle. Let's everybody get Aether
Lenses. Yeah, if you're winning games with like triple, quadruple Aether Lens, then
4 quadruple. All right, Silent, where's yours? Come on, join the clan.
Most importantly, all 3 of those Aether lenses paired with a Yule Scepter. That's 3 heroes with Yules plus Aether Lens. So,
and now an Octarine.
Well then. This is some hard to defend push that's going to be coming soon. Secret have got Octarine soon on Naga, not quite there to go with the Radiance, but I'm not sure if that's going to cut it by itself.
She needs a lot more time, it feels like. And they have so much catch. The Yules, as you mentioned, a great setup, and the Chrono to worry about. The Nyx constantly off the map, and a lot of heroes who simply cannot leave the base. Zeus, easy prey. The supports, obviously. The Darkseer is a little bit vulnerable on Oiha, being stalked right now by that dirty cockroach. But Phobos knows there's probably sentries, and there are some heroes missing, so he's going to take it easy instead. Jaunts through the northern route towards the enemy jungle.
So for Secret, overall game plan has got to just be try and keep Envy alive and keep lanes pushed as much as possible. Avoiding these ganks is always going to be tricky just because I don't think they can really have detection everywhere. Picking up a gem may just be a necessary item for them. Even though they've got the Zeus, I feel like they may have to just make that big jump so they can deward their side of the map. Because right now VP have Vision of Heroes, which they've got great deep wards in this dire jungle for. I don't think Secret can really do too much on the map, so I think taking out the VP Vision is going to be very important for them moving forward.
Top tower is
So
under
Envy
attack.
did sense the pressure top, and he popped the ultimate to get out. It's still the level 2 ult. And he will have the Octarine soon to help with the cooldown a bit here. How much longer do you reckon for VP? Are they approaching a timing where they really want to go break the base? Are they content just trading farm?
I think they can trade farm okay. Probably the next Aegis will be like a good time for them to go high ground.
Oh, they do get the Yules off. Yeah. Phobos, though, still hunting. Looks like he wants Weeha, but can't quite get in range to the Zeus. And Misery, with that Midas, has quietly continued to rack up the farm, so...
That's such a good BKB
This is the haves and have-nots game.
Yeah, I don't know if Misery considers getting a BKB, but it's so nice against the Yules stun follow-ups that VP are kind of spamming out. Silence from Death Prophet.
Might still die
bottom
anyway to a
tower
Chrono
is under
Laguna,
attack.
but which is now an Aghanim's upgraded one. Even forcing that out on yourself could prove valuable. Does anyone buy Glimmer Cape anymore? I feel like all I see is Aether Lens.
This is new item. It's pretty good.
I guess the situations where you want to get it are few and far between.
Against like a Necrophos or something, it's like, okay, I'll buy a Glimmer Cape now.
Maybe if you have a Winter Wyvern. Oh wait, that hero's not relevant anymore.
What? Is he one of the new
Winter
heroes
Wyvern
that was added to the pool?
I thought he got deleted from Dota. My God.
Somebody had to make room for it.
I miss
Spirit.
Articuno. One of my favorite Pokemon. Zeus ult is activated, and Envy, he's a little nervous.
He knows Nyx is there now, but the fact Nyx didn't immediately jump him shows Envy that Nyx did not have friends with him. Oh, Secret going to be just forced to continue to play on the back foot, and here comes VP ready to go
Radiant's
grouped
top
up mid
tower is under
once
attack.
more, and it is an Aghanim Scepter Void, so very short cooldown on the Chronosphere. Even if they just get a pick off, force a buyback, and then they don't get a lane to racks here, it's still very beneficial for Team Virtus.Pro.
They're set up to push, or at least to take a fight, but even with the smoke.
Radiant's top tower
Hold
is
on for
under
a little
attack.
while. Secret managed to dodge it. They sit back, and they are still getting Envy out on the map. Shoving in that bottom lane, the rest of the team starting to become the
Radiant's
have-nots
top tower
more and
is
more.
under
And
attack.
they did get the gem, as you mentioned, wanting to see that. So, better ability to deward the map, but still has not found a lot of these aggressive wards VP have planted. Might find Envy. Walks right into the void. Is he going to go for this? Gets the bash off. Chrono, not going to happen. Song, and then just TP's away, and it's still level 2 ultimate, but yeah, with the Octarine complete now. Only a 90-second cooldown.
I think it sounded close to using Chronosphere. They just want to try and wait a few more seconds to let his teammates get closer. But instead of getting
Free
a kill,
Rosh.
yeah, they'll get free Roshan. I mentioned probably time where they can go for another high ground siege. They don't have to. Very much their lineup going great into the late game. Lina's, as a support, has surpassed the Void, but this is kind of what you want from a Lina going into the late game stages. It's kind of a similar hero to Visage in that sense when played as support. The hero benefits so much from items and scales ridiculously well that you'd much rather Lina be farmed than your Nyx. And as far as the Void versus Lina, when the Void's going for an Axe Vlad's build, you're not looking at a scaling hard carry faceless Void. So this is actually like the ideal scenario in farm distribution for Virtus.Pro right now.
A lot of ways, the Nyx still does a ton already with the items he has.
Yeah.
Sure, he's only 9k net worth.
Yep.
Would love to see that
Radiant's top tower is
lurker
under attack.
Aghanim
I
with
love the
Aether
Ags.
Lens. I haven't actually seen the Aether Lens
Dire's
Eggs
bottom
combo
tower
yet.
is under attack.
I actually think it's so good, like in how it changes how you have to play against the hero, kind of like the tree and Ags. I'm surprised it's not bought a bit more, just because of like how much it increases what you can do on the hero.
This might be a game where we see it.
Yeah, there's so many other items that you want and sometimes quote unquote need to get. But for Nyx, quite likely a follow-up item to where he's at now could be the Ag Scepter.
Envy continues to slowly work towards that next item with the Octarine complete. 3K banked up. Team very far behind him. This has been a very slow game through the mid stages. Generally, you would say the Naga team pretty happy with that, but with just how much VP have farmed on everyone outside of the Dazzle, perhaps it's not enough. Still leading in terms of net worth at this stage, and still no real threat on the tier 2s, let alone the base. So VP handling the split push just fine. Clearing out Naga illusions, closing down mid. And again, looking to get aggressive. Secret, they just batten down the hatches, they turtle up in the base, and they look for the camp.
Pop down the ward, which is I think being pinged out. VP saying, "Hey, we know what's there. We're on to you."
Hey guys, I think there are racks up this hill. We should probably hit them.
And leaning with travels means they can, because Secret always going to try to do a bit of split push whenever VP group up to try and
This Lina is
take a high ground push.
farmed. Even more farmed than the Void at this point.
Yeah, this is a happy Lil.
Whether it's Visage or Lina, he's always finding his items. G now at long last going to breach the base. Marches up to high ground. Envy slowly trying for the split push, but he's not even at the creep wave top lane, and there's still a tier 2 there anyway, so VP are going to force the issue. Let's see if Secret sack a lane interacts, or do they try to contest? G now with the range down, turning onto the melee. They're looking for the clean objectives. Puppy with the quick swamp out, but Weeha in danger to that Aghanim Laguna Blade. G sticking around a bit. Does Envy look to come back? Is this the time to strike? If not, Rax about to fall. The silence on Weeha. Blink forward from DK Phobos. Just gets off the monitor. Tries to send him packing back towards the base. They have not finished the melee, but what they couldn't do quite with the ultimate, they're going to attempt to do with auto attack. Silent still here. Blink dagger activate. He forces out Misery's BKB for nothing. Didn't actually chrono and then just walks away. At long last, Envy comes home. Not split pushing, and they are sticking around.
They'd love to get this melee Rax for it. If they back off, it's going to heal up a bit. They've just forced out some spells from Secret. I think they do want to go back in. They cleared the Naga illusion, so I don't think
No Darkseer BKB. Yeah. This could be the time. They go in. Lil. Auto attacks will get the job done. The kick comes through, connects on 2, and then Misery blinks forward. Back. Wall. Is it sufficient? The Chrono, a complete airball, but it does zone Weeha back a little bit at least. Perhaps that's enough. Lil Hardy kept alive by the grave. They have lost their Aegis, and Envy looks to get active here. Has the Son if they want to disengage. Puppy ever so low. Can they finish him off? Silent. He wants to go for it. Finally manages to just get the kill, and Envy heads to the north where G is just chasing him now. The BKB, and he kills him even through the Son. Sleep on that, you bastard. Now Weeha, Soul Siphon going strong. He's in trouble. Phobos there with the Vendetta. Pokes him in the rear, and Secret have lost the lane of Rax. Actually, I think the melee's still barely surviving, but they got to be going back for this at this point with 4 dead, 3 still alive, and Death Prophet ever so healthy.
Yeah.
And she's almost got an ultimate up, I believe. Yeah,
Yep,
has it ready.
already.
Is this? Oh, they don't have the tier 2s, so it'll be 1 lane.
Even just for this low HP melee Rax, it's not the end. It's worth using it to secure melee Rax at this stage of the game. Secret just put him under some more pressure, and G's going to do just that. Not the most productive exorcism.
Get those huts. Oh, yeah.
Easy money.
That is a lot of money for G. 3,700 gold banked up. Gonna grab the tier 2 as well. And there's no Son at this stage. The BKB making the difference there, and I don't think Envy was expecting that play.
And G is caught up and overtaken Naga Siren now.
Death Prophet is still out farming a Naga at 38 minutes. That is extremely impressive.
The Manta of Naga available, but I think with a Manta, that fight there possibly could have been held, but like the first Naga illusions go out, they just get instantly cleared, and then he's got to wait for a decent amount of time before he can resummon them, even with an Octarine core.
Secret are starting to get bottled up a bit more. Naga illusion spreading, but only over their side of the jungle, as Lil Hardy is going to engage on the Puppy. You are not running from that Aether Lens, but maybe they can turn the fight with a blink forward from Izzy. The Chrono gets the point again, and Misery actually walks into it, but they need some damage going into this Chrono. It's barely coming from FNG. There's the swap out. Puppey trying to survive through it. The Magnetize deployed onto Silent, caught on his own. Time walks away towards the south. G has no exorcism yet, and FNG is going to grave himself up in the tree line while the song comes out, tries to prevent anyone from retreating Secret. They want to take out the trash. G in danger. Silent going to blink forward. The boulder kick of not timed quite right with the song. So he'll be okay through this. Now BKBG tries to go to town, and it looks like Secret just want to ignore him, kite him, and come back for him last. Exorcism ready in 8 seconds. Is that even going to be a difference maker at this stage? Doesn't look like it. Heads to the north. Net comes through. Bolt's there. They will lose G as well, and it's going to be a full 5-man wipeout for nothing aside from a tier 2 top. I believe they either recovered a gem or got the VP one as well. 8,000 gold.
Yikes.
From one fight.
Yeah, that's a huge, huge turnaround. Not that much going the way of Naga Siren, but still a Naga Siren who's kind of continuing to maintain pace towards the late game. And
did they just get overconfident with the easy success they had in the mid lane?
yeah, overconfident, and it was Secret getting a nice jump to start things off. Lina got put in a bad spot from the get-go. The Chronosphere kind of came in, but wasn't able to really salvage the situation or keep Lina alive. So I think just a few small things adding up early on in Secret, and then VP just kept trying to take the fight despite being down in numbers.
So here's a fun item that we haven't seen all that much of, with most Earth Spirits being in a pretty hard support role, but he's got an Aghanim Scepter, Pile Die.
Ooh, well, pushing high ground versus that. They've got the swap. They've got the vacuum to go with it.
Suck you in and kick you into the fountain.
You
what is the total range on that between the pull and the kickback?
It's pretty big.
It's like what, like 2,000 plus?
And it depends a bit because the way the boulder smash works is it's from like your body, so you can theoretically do it with them like for when they're behind you, and it gets that bit of extra range increase. You can also get Aether Lens if you want on the Earth Spirit. Then you can increase the range by even more. So Earth Spirit's gonna be fun to push into for VP.
Well, even more BKBs maybe on the agenda.
Yeah. Oh, and more Aether Lenses. They've got 5, have they? No. Okay, Silent. No, he's not gonna get one.
I think 4 has been working pretty well. It does seem like they need a little more damage in the Chrono though. If they don't have Exorcism, we saw in that last fight.
Yeah.
Void couldn't even get a single kill out of it.
Yeah, Void's solo kill potential isn't there, and Lina's kind of the kill potential for the VP side. Nyx had a point booster, so likely seeing Ag Scepter. Although Octarine's also really good on the hero, but I think Ag's more likely.
Well, because of that fight, not only did they get a huge jump in gold and experience, but I think just as importantly, Secret, they got a chance to push the lanes out. Now, you can see all 3 lanes either at the river or past it. So they've gotten control back of their own jungle, some defensive wards planted down. Heroes are being forced to deal with the split push, and the map control for Secret overall has improved dramatically.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Constantly illusion streaming towards the base, towers being chipped away at. You're going to have the work cut out for them to equalize things out.
Radiant's
and Envy's just creep skipping with the illusions has been on point throughout this game, so.
And that maybe sets up for kill opportunities. They kick in on mid. Not going to find it. There's a gem up on Puppey currently. Looking for those wards, but...
So quite likely the next Roshan going to be very important for both the two teams. I think it's a kind of fight location where Secret have these big team fight spells in vacuum.
Oh, did they see this? Silence hunting. He's getting close. Nah, it's going to assume that Envy has... Oh, no, maybe not. Time walk in.
Whoa.
Ooh, 5 seconds on the boots of travel.
Pretty close.
This could actually end poorly for Eternal Envy, but Puppey is here in position to either get the swap out or at least save his buddy. Lil Hardy getting caught out, dropping quickly the illusions, manages to chuck out a Laguna. It's on to Puppey. Still waiting for that Chronosphere from Silent. The wall gets deployed. Everybody already so low. Time walks out of the damage. Still waiting for the Chrono. He just can't find an opening. He finally drops one. It's only a Weehaw. There's no damage going into it. Death Prophet against the world as the rest of VP get pulled apart. 4 now down. and they're going to try to cage the Ghost Lady and stuns there. A lot of heroes tanking the damage, and G surrounded. Boulder's getting kicked around, an army of Naga illusions swatting away at her. She still survives, heads to the north, turns with the nukes. The Boulder wildly off the mark from Pi, but the Ghosts are coming back soon. Almost gets 2 more kills with that last nuke. Still tanking through everything Eternal Envy is throwing out of. Might even kill all the backliners if they're not careful. Now the Spirit Siphon going, and again the net, and it continues to just toss out nukes. Nobody can get close to G. One-man wrecking crew here, but at long last, they've wiggled him down. He's still got the BKB, which he now pops. He throws out yet another wave of Ghosts, and they're afraid. The raid boss, it's taken so long. The Lahardis come back in, and he wants to get involved. Finds the kill, manages to bring down the Naga. That's an unstoppable streak. And Puppy, although he's been pulled back, might actually go down. Lil's there with the quick grab, gets the long range, and then the stun, the nuke. It all began with G, and it ends with 2 very unexpected kills and creeps just storming down mid to finish what the heroes could not.
Oh. Yeah, a long fight like that, then suddenly it's like creeps just pouring in your base and Tier 4 is taking damage, but holy cow, what a team fight coming out from G.
Are they just going, they're going all the way. Tier 4's now
Exorcism's like back up soon, so much of that fight was done by G without Exorcism towards the end.
He just fought off 4 heroes by himself, and if you look at his net worth, he's not even the most farmed hero in the game. My god, G played that brilliantly, but Death Prophet, she is scary.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Are they going straight for it? They could go for the bottom lane of Rax if they want to play this safe, but VP, they have decided that this is the time to strike. So Tier 4s are going to get worked down. The Zeus ult comes out in combination with the back wall, almost killing off everyone. That made Chrono. It's only on Weeha. Again, the Chrono's not really the best here, not getting a single kill, and they are going to pull the Zeus almost out of the Chronosphere. Pylai Die attempting to save him. Everybody now retreating. Time Walk back from Silent. Misery charging forward. Naga has the song ready. Can she get in position? This could be the time to strike, knowing the Death Prophet ult's about to finish. Silent, Phobos caught out. Envy swarming around, threatening to go in, but afraid to go in at the same time, and isn't going to end up doing it. Instead, it's Phobos who decides to take the aggressive maneuver, gets the stun, as well as the mana burn out on Misery, and forces Puppy to swap him and retreat the hell out. Whew. What's going on this game, gods? They just tried to throne it. They haven't gotten either lane, and they're just like, we can end this game right now. Did not happen.
Yeah, there's a couple heroes dead. You're thinking we can get some actual damage done, put Secret under even more pressure, and you're just getting kind of frustrated with being delayed in the other games. At this point, you're thinking like all it takes is one successful team fight and an Exorcism, and you win the game. Taking all the lanes of Rax is going to be a lot harder because you're against Naga Siren. Naga's going to be split pushing, creep skipping waves, and I think VP just recognized that this next Aegis is possibly a game-winning Aegis, which they don't even have to go for Mega Creeps with. They go straight for the throne, Aegis and Cheese.
You know, the thing that scares me, if I'm Secret, is the Chronos haven't even really been that good this game, at least not lately. It's mostly been one hero Chronos. They haven't been able to kill the heroes trapped within. God forbid Silent gets like even just 2 heroes and there's no defensive swap. That could just end it.
Well, Envy, he's got 5k gold near this top lane. See what he looks to decide to do. Misery stockpiling a lot himself, and that's a bit of a sign that Secret maybe slightly undecided what they want to get, or just looking for some of these big late game items and not wanting to commit to them while they don't have buybacks just yet. VP not going to rush into any kind of a push right away off the Aegis Cheese. If they want to try and wait towards the end of the cooldown for it, they could have another kind of key item here or there.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
At this point, Death Prophet is well into the luxury purchases. What's G going to grab next? 4,600. Do you? Is this where you look towards your refresher for the game-ending combo?
AC, if you think you can, if you want like a good item for the throne.
This could be the clincher. Forget about items.
Yeah, the runes.
What a time for an arcane rune. Well, I think it's what, 75 seconds
for the Exorcism. Yeah,
I believe so.
Oh, it's already 76 seconds. Yeah. It's pretty damn ridiculous, and considering the duration, it's very like, high uptime.
You can just pop it, force everything out, and then go again with the second ult, try to win the game. That might be what VP are looking for. They've left the lead up top, but as you pointed out, she does have the BOTs, so can be the +1 that joins the fight a bit later on. At the very least, they're going to want to pop an Exorcism before this rune expires, if possible.
Envy commits to the heart. That means he doesn't have buyback, but I think Secret probably realized like they lose a hero or two. It's it.
Smoke. VP looking for the killing blow. Secret just camping in the base.
Yeah. It's interesting, little smoke. I think they realize that Secret's going to be spending time and effort split pushing this top lane, so they might be able to get a pick off. But it's going to happen for them right now. So far, Secret doing a good job avoiding fights and not giving VP that opportunity to end the game off of the Aegis and Cheese.
Well, I gotta tell you guys, it's gonna be a long night with the way these games are going. Our second match about to clip the 50-minute mark. And still feels like if Secret play their cards right, it could go a lot longer, but Phobos is here. He's gonna break the smoke up on the high ground. There's no ward. It's a complete airball from Secret. What great positioning and awareness. Secret blowing a crucial resource here. It does allow Envy to get out on the map bottom, but again, tier 2s are still up mid and top, or in bottom lane rather, for VP. So it's not like Naga can threaten the base trade. She is going to have to come home, defend, and try to protect her nest.
Yeah, VP just bouncing around from lane to lane.
Phobos starting this one off. He blinks in. He looks for the stun. Misery is able to BKB. Tang's on for now, but Jeez manages to get the Exorcism off. Silent still waiting to deploy that Chronosphere. And the ghosts begin to go to work.
Radiant's bottom
Wailing
tower
away
is
at
under
this
attack.
tower. When does Envy look to make his move? G, very healthy, then Silent. He engages. He's managed to fight a couple of key heroes. Pi just pulling the Naga towards himself, but she's still trapped within the Chrono during this time. Silent may go down, but they've already gotten a lot of damage out. Zeus will buy back, trying to hang on to the base. There's a roll forward. Big commitment from Pylite. Shiva's now popped by G, and FNG's going to have to back himself out. Lil turning with the nuke, stunning up Puppy. Silent still time walking out. Everybody lives. VP, stay alive for now. Envy's got the Psalm. When's he going to let it go? He gets silenced as he walks up the hill. Then the Spirit Siphon goes to work. Phobos may have a stun soon. They have managed to crack that Aegis, and they look for a bit more. Rolling back, Pylite scatters. They're still waiting on another ultimate from the Death Prophet. It's going to be a bit longer, and they have lost their lead, who at this point might be the second most important hero on the entire team. Silent, no Chrono just yet. G gets caught out. There's a buyback on the lead of the stun. Beautifully placed by Phobos. He's caught out too. They're clearing out the wave. Secret are running out of ammunition.
Oh.
There's no swap. There's no vacuum wall.
And some
the
of these
refresher.
ultis are coming up soon. Yeah, Refresher for Death Prophet. Void got Chronosphere back just because of the Aghanim Scepter cooldown. I don't even know. Does Death Prophet even need to use a Refresher? How far away is the next
I think she waits for the next Exorcism and then uses it
double
right
ulti.
after that to win the game.
Yeah, you've got double ulti, you've got
Oh,
Chronosphere.
Courier also
Courier
sniped
has been
4,200
killed.
gold. What did it have? Oh, that's the completed Shivas. I guess not the biggest deal, but it's just more economic damage to an already impoverished
Radiant's
Secret
bottom tower
backline.
is under attack.
I don't really think VP want to continue to slow roll this one now that Death Prophet has kind of reached critical mass. Void's slowly getting there as well.
You haven't even seen her final form yet. She's still got item slots.
Oh, she wants Secret to get
she can
more
courier that refresher and have more items, by the way.
that Soul Siphon scaling. It's like, yeah, you guys just get some more items. Get more tanky. Don't worry. My Soul Siphon, it stays relevant.
G is not going to waste any time in letting this ult go. Secret may have to all in on just trying to combo him down, but that will not be an easy task. Where is the Earth Spirit fountain kick when you need it? They're going to start off with the swap, but he gets off the BKB, so the Earth Spirit can't do much to G during this time. The back wall comes through. It catches out 3 heroes, but Death Prophet just throws herself in the air, and the Ghost continue to go to work. The Chrono again, it only catches Weehaw. Silent, not even able to kill him, gets turned into a boulder inside of the Chrono. Protected for now. G is low. G might actually drop to this one. Then Zeus finishes it, but Secret, perhaps they've overextended through this. Buying back instantly in the Death Prophet, who has a refresher, sells the phase boots, buying the BOTs, coming right back with round 2. You've committed your combo, and I am angry. This is spooky. She's going for the throw now. Forget about the hero kills. G wants to finish off this game, but heroes are getting cleaned up on the backlines of G. If he dies back here, this could actually be a gigantic throw. He says the second BKB, trying to retreat out, getting body blocked by Misery. He knows this is a big opportunity. They find the net. Where's the backup? Void's coming in. They're going to lose G, possibly. Throws himself up in the air. He goes down. It's a dieback on the Death Prophet. BP. Oh, making this game spicy. Too spicy.
Oh,
They didn't even get a lane of Rex, guys. The throne still has a tier 4.
Not like this, VP. Not like this. That is a huge gold loss for Nyx, for Death Prophet.
Look at the graph.
And it's dipped back to even. This is like, your Naga's just like, okay, we've held over the hardest part of the game to hold. Same time, you're also saying, okay, I'm 6-slotted guys, so we're not like we're going to be farming up a Storm and getting super scary late game. But Zeus Darkseid are probably the heroes who have to scale a bit more as time goes on. Like you get Nocturne on Zeus, you're looking at a lot more firepower, but they know with Death Prophet down, this is a time where they can just do some structural damage, possibly even threaten the high ground.
At the worst, she respawns by the time they get to the base, and it looks like the Venge was looking for a jump on Phobos. Puppey getting aggressive here, has access to that level 3 swap. The range gets ridiculous. Secret, their turn to march forward. Down the middle lane they go. 50 seconds on the Naga. This will be a tough hold, and they have managed to start it off with the swap. Kick comes through, but Phobos, Yule's going to get purged off there. He is able to blink away. Silent trying to force them back. He gets to work on the bottom lane. Secret, not sure that they're going to take this as an answer. Now the Chrono Spear, they do manage to isolate Misery, but he's really tanky, even through the Laguna Blade Chrono combo. And now there's no Chrono Spear for the defense. But it seems Secret are going to play it safe. They've got more item slots on Naga. Envy still got some Courier Micro in them, and well, they get a tier 3. So now perhaps the real rat game could begin.
They really tried to all in and end the game there with the Death Prophet refresher, and not having the pipe against the Zeus, just one of those small things. You don't really expect your 5-position Dazzle to have a pipe, but it would be a very important item. Not having the BKB on Lina as well, the magic damage just tears them up and also guarantees that the vacuum's landing always. You've got just one BKB across the VP side.
It does seem like they're looking for more now, as we see a BKB pretty much done a little. He seems to want to save for buyback first. Phobos appears to be grabbing his own next. Could be an egg. Actually, it is an egg, so never mind that. But yeah, they'll have the triple BKB threat soon with Lina's ready if she doesn't want to buy back. Is a really good item this game. Maybe could be the game changer. We'll have to see.
Yeah, so if you can prevent Darkseid getting a huge vacuum wall off in these fights through your BKBs, or prevent Zeus from doing a huge amount of damage, try and bring him down during your durations.
The walls have been really big in a lot of these fights. Usually, I would say 3 heroes caught on average.
Yep.
And they get all the illusions before VP are able to retreat.
And at some point, VP is going to be thinking we need a bit more wave clear, something like the Mjolnir on the Void. He can't just be going for this.
Singles. It's not even really that much single target damage with a, and it is the big downside to this particular build. With all, I mean, what is that? Like 12,000 plus gold spent on utility and initiation.
He's just playing. It's an item build that plays around the ultimate. The MKB kind of the one exception.
Oh, that long range swap from Puppey. It's going to force out a BKB on G. Pops the Shivas, trying to turn this one. Misery rushing in. He really wants to go. He backs and only grabs FNG. Can they snipe him? No buybacks. They know they're on cooldown for a couple. Not sure Secret actually want to overcommit here, though. Could be a couple buybacks online, and they're going to walk up to the high ground. Let the rat begin. Solve the heroes, kill the Rax, and then run the hell away. But Envy has been caught out on the retreat. They can pull him back, perhaps. He does get pulled by the Air Spirit, but not all that far. Laguna Blade comes in. There is no for a long time, and now the Chrono. That one's what the one they were waiting for. Silent, able to club down. The Naga has the buyback, but really doesn't want to be using it here. Pi looking for the rollout, but Void on the hunt. Puppey then swaps him to the south, desperately trying every shenanigan in the book to save him, and Envy has bought back. He's ratted out in the mid lane while this is going on. Weeha is going to drop. Envy going for the secret tactics here, trying to finish off Rax. Maybe even going to rotate on the bottom lane, but it looks like Death Prophet's in pursuit. If they could just manage to catch this Naga, it could be the difference maker. Seems like he'll make it out. Misery not so lucky. The illusion swarming towards the well, and FNG should be able to survive through this. Meanwhile, Nyx wants a bounty rune. I think he's actually Scotty Roshan. Oh, FNG gonna die in the well. No, he'll be okay. But they get the lane of Rax with the buyback, so Secret one big step closer towards equalizing and even pulling ahead in terms of the creep equilibrium.
And now VP are going to just feel like they're in that pressured spot where they've got to make a move. Even though their late game's like pretty solid, they've got great team fight around Void and Nyx. I don't think they're going to be happy that they're losing Rax and just losing ground to the Naga Siren team. So,
and if they can't punish the NB buyback before it cools down, then he could just do that all over again. So, wonder if VP feel like the clock is ticking. Good chrono from Silent, though, and we can see that Void is still a game changer if he manages to find the right ult.
Yeah, and they've fantastic spells to dump in the Chronosphere with Lina. Ags Nyx has that super long range on Impale and Mana Burn, which means he can easily get a lot of spells off as well. But hitting like more than 2 with these chronospheres moving forward is going to get trickier and trickier.
And normally, even if you do, they get turned into a boulder, they get swapped out, their song is there. It is a very tough Void game, in fairness to Silent. But the way the game's developing, it also feels like no excuses. They need big ults from him.
Yeah.
As hard as it might be.
They need some huge pickoffs as well. Like using a chronosphere for like a key hero pickoff is definitely justified.
You know, the other thing we used to see, GoDz, was the refresher void. Mana has been more of an issue, but he does have Ags as a counter to Venge, where you chrono, she swaps them out, you chrono again, and then you kill the target. Not sure if we're
I'm not sure with the refresher, because it's now the double burst, right? It doesn't give you any intel. I'm not sure if you can sustain the mana pool for it.
What is Silent's mana pool right now? I think he probably has enough with the Ags. Yeah, I believe he does.
Actually, all the stats. 300, 600,
I
then
think
you're looking at 375, yeah.
But you'd ideally want some mana boots.
It's about 1,000 mana to use double Chronosphere.
At the same time, we've seen they're also lacking damage in Chronosphere, so does he just get more damage instead and try to maximize the first one? It's a slot game here for VP as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely still a fan of the Mjolnir just because of the illusion clearing capabilities that the item helps grant you.
They're on the hunt for Phobos. The Blink Shivas is there to cancel any sort of retreat, and now they are going to follow it up with a boulder stun. Don't think Secret really want to go on that. In fact, they want to get out quickly because Void is angry and hunting. Misery does get thrown up in the air, but manages to pop the BKB as he retreats. And now the song, Envy, retreating all the way back. This is a, let's get to the tier 4s, boys. That's where we'll hold the line. Song on cooldown for a minute. Oh, a bit less than a minute, I should say. But is that going to be enough time for VP? By the time they get to this tower bottom, I believe we will see one more song available.
Yeah, and that's something they just kind of have to accept that news anytime they want to push, there will be a song.
Silent. This is where you love that new time walk. Try and counter the Zeus, but Silent gets stunned. He's taking a lot of damage, needs some help during this time. He is going to lose the edges off the bat, and that means there's no real defensive play for VP as Lil Hardy drops low, manages to get off the stun, stays alive for now. They are going to duke this one out. It's time to rumble, and it's going to be Lil going down. Has the buyback dead for 110, may have no choice but to spend it, because this could be the game-deciding fight. The Chronosphere comes through, the Ghosts are going all the while. Misery's though tanking the entire time. Can they get a single kill out of this Chronosphere? It really doesn't seem that way. The stun onto Envy, Envy surviving, then the swap out for Puppy, keeping him alive through it all. They throw the nuke out to the south, Envy able to live. The boulder kick just off the mark. FNG gets caught in the trees. Secret have the whole squad available, and VP are on the run. They're routing them. FNG will be next, 3 down. TP, is he gonna make it out? No, the song catches him again. Envy slams the door. The BKB is available now, but G may really regret having not used it as he gets nuked to smithereens. Down he goes. 4 are dead, 3 with buyback, and they may all have to use it to avoid losing their base.
Yeah, the Secret is out, and they are beast moding their way back into this game right now, and Virtus.Pro just running out of steam. They had such a good early game. They had a 10k net worth lead at one point, but Secret, all it took was like 1 good high ground defense, even when they're already down to racks, and suddenly the item pickups just keep on accumulating, and a triple buyback. They know that this is just a hold that is going to be so incredibly difficult. They're just going to bring all these heroes back in. And losing a second lane of racks against the Naga team means, I mean, that's when the Envy shenanigans really start kicking in, where he can just sleep the heroes while his illusions take out that last lane of racks. So you don't want to go down 4 racks against the Naga Siren of Eternal Envy.
At the same time, they can also abuse you not having buyback. If Secret get that next pick, we've seen with the Zeus, damage just basically explodes out of nowhere, then it may just be the game. Things get dicey, and now Zeus going to grab an Octarine as well. So the full combo is very much online now. The Veil, Octarine, Aether Lens for the Zeus, the constant low cooldown song from the Naga to reset the fights, the Venge with incredible game-changing range on that swap.
Radiant's
And the Ag Scepter too now.
It's a screen. It's a screen range of swap.
Well, the illusion is what's really crazy about
Radiant's
it.
bottom tower has fallen.
The illusion means you get that second extra swap after you're dead. You still provide your team the aura as well. You get more follow-up stuns, so this makes life very difficult for VP. So you're not at all afraid of just swapping out a teammate and dying when you've got the Ag. I mean, you're not afraid of doing it anyways when you're a 5-position bench, but it's even better when you've got the Ag Scepter because you have got that secondary life.
6.86 is an exciting new world. Maybe not for VP.
Yeah.
This is something out of
Not
their
right now,
nightmares
perhaps.
more than their dreams. Secret starts to really gain momentum. I'm not sure this is how they expected to get to the late game, but here they are. That's where their lineup was always hoping to be. We saw the early Darkseer Midas, and I mean, you said it right away, GoDz. They want this to be a long one. Well, they're getting it.
Yeah. You can see that, yeah, almost up to 800 GPM for the Naga, and Darkseer's easily kept up pace. For VP, they are now the high ground defenders, a position their draft is not exactly bad at, but a position they just didn't want to be in based on what Secrets picked up and what their lineup had going for them.
Envy's really got them pinned in the base here, it feels like.
DK Phobos, the Ag Scepter, Nick's high ground defense is absolutely incredible.
Look at the range.
Yeah. It's a 7-second cooldown impale. That's one thing, I don't know how comfortable he was on the Nyx with the Ags. I think he's one of the best Nyx players out there, but I don't see him actually get the Ags all that often. Because like when they were pushing the bottom lane on the high ground, he was throwing the stun from like normal form, which I think maybe sometimes a mistake because the cooldown's much longer when you use it there, and also the range being a lot shorter. So I think you want to try and just go up to, like, if you're high ground pushing with Nyx, you just want to run forward, go, like, burrow yourself down and just start throwing spells. Because even though you can't move while you're in the burrow, you're so impossible to kill because of the damage block. There you go. That's the range on an Impale.
Just making sure it's working.
Yep.
Can confirm Phobos.
Trial runs.
It is. And it's disgusting. But they are... Oh, Envy is getting close to high ground there.
It's annoying. The split push is really annoying for the Nyx, is one of the big issues, though.
Is this where we just see the Song and then try to go for the side lanes? Envy? Yeah, he's looking for it. Song comes through. He's going to send the Illusions to the south. He's going to TP himself a bit to the north, but stays near the Radiant base. And the Illusions all the while in the bottom lane are doing some work to the tower, forcing out a pretty early glyph for 0 cost. And they're not going to leave. They're just going to continue to set up camp outside the base, wait for the Song to cool down, and rinse and repeat. Phobos just getting frustrated with the whole predicament, has decided to leave the base as the Zeus ult comes out looking to get vision to set up here. Illusions will head towards the bottom lane. The ratting intensifies. Where are the answers? Mid lane, it looks like they have found an opening. The Chrono comes out, but there's the swap from Puppey. Gets Weehaw out of trouble. And even Puppey's too tanky to be killed off.
Turn to stone and pulled out.
Silent, trying to go on Misery. Can they kill anyone during this time? And all the while, Illusion's going to work in the bottom lane. They're actually getting more out of that Chronosphere than VP are. Secret just making VP look silly. Not sure what they can do. Oh, they do find the Naga. They do find the Naga. But can they kill the Naga is the real question here. Lil's desperately going to need to hit the stun. He tries to set up with the Yules. Creeps continue to work slowly on the bottom lane. The back wall is there, though. Turning the fight, perhaps keeping them alive. Now the swap. Lil pulled into the middle of the entire enemy team, but the Death Prophet ult, while it's going, Silence the one who's going to drop first here. It looks like Tymox to the south. He does manage to survive. Still no heroes dead. G looking to rearm and re-engage. Second ultimate has been activated, but they're just ignoring him, trying to stay away for the entire duration of the fight. Pi, perhaps the first casualty. No, Puppey again with the swaps. The saves, they just keep on coming. Maybe at long last they can kill a stinking Vengeful Spirit. Can we have that, VPS? Yes, you can have our Venge, but the Venge is still going to continue the fight. Can't even get her out. Death Prophet dead with no buyback. Nyx dead with no buyback. Dazzle dead for a minute. VP on the run. Their last moments of this game, very likely. Chasing after Lil at long last. The Ultra Farm support. Lina 2 will fall. 4 are down, and VP have not managed to secure this game. Secret, rat it out, outplay them late. I feel pretty filthy at just having cast that. I can't imagine how they feel right now, GoDz.
That was some good old Naga Siren Dota. Secret played the high ground defense so incredibly well this game, and I mean, VP will be kicking themselves a bit. It was definitely not the result they were after, and it was definitely them in a position where they probably felt like they had the game. It was theirs to win or theirs to lose. I like what they did with their draft, putting some more farm pressure on the Lina, but some of the big kind of teamfight execution just wasn't there for them when they needed it.
I felt like where the game really shifted in terms of momentum was when G bought back on Death Prophet, died again, and it wasn't just about the fact that he died back in the gold swing. It was more all the lanes got pushed out. They got map control back. I think they got a gem back during that fight, and
yeah.
From there, it felt like they were always on the defensive, where up until that point, they were constantly pushing down mid, even trying to, at one point, throw them before they had gotten tier 2. And my God, that was really annoying to play against. Yeah. So VP will drop this one. Very intense game. Clearly still looking like a strong team here as we get started with Group B action. Guys, we still have 6 more matches to go on this stream. It's going to be a long night. Stick around. You're watching StarLadder Season 13.
Counter-Strike and StarCraft, World of Tanks, and